If you're visiting Shanghai for a few days, then there's a good chance that Shanghai Disney is on your itinerary. To help with your visit, I'm going to give some useful tips and advice. Opened in 2016, this is the first Disney park in mainland China and currently features the world's biggest Disney castle. Before I start, I want to say that I'm certainly no theme park or Disney expert, but I've been living in Shanghai for some time and I have visited the park several times. Shanghai Disney Resort is located in the Pudong district of Shanghai, almost halfway between Pudong Airport and the city centre. To get there, Line 11 is a popular option. It cuts through the city going to stations like Xujiahui and Jiangsu Road, but it is slow and you're unlikely to get a seat. This means you'll be standing for around 40 minutes, and this is energy probably best reserved for queuing for rides inside the resort. More recently opened is the Airport Link Line, which has a specific station, Shanghai International Resorts, but it's still a 10-minute drive away, meaning you'll need to find a taxi or a bus. The most expensive but convenient option is a taxi. Journey times are around 45 minutes from the city centre, and it's likely to cost around 150 RMB. My advice is just stay in a downtown hotel, enjoy the city. There's no need to book the specific Disney hotel, and then grab a taxi early in the morning. Entry ticket prices vary depending on the time of year. If you can visit during a term time weekday, prices can be as low as 400 RMB, but during national holidays things get very busy and tickets can be nearly double that. There's also a range of different annual pass types, but for this video I'm going to focus on day-only passes. We visited on the last day of a national holiday, so it was slightly less busy than previous days as people made their way back home ready for the start of school and work, but it was still much busier than a normal weekday. The adult ticket price was 550 RMB, which is about £55. We also paired this with an early park entry pass, enabling us to enter the park an hour early. This was an extra 169 RMB each, and I'll explain more about our experience of paying for this extra in a moment. On top of this, we also paid for a Premier Access package, the Carefree Bundle, which included Premier Access to 6 different rides. This is not necessary if you're visiting on a quiet day, but because we were visiting during a national holiday, we decided to pay extra to make the most of the day. Altogether, with the early entry pass and Premier Access pass for 6 rides, our tickets totalled nearly 1,400 RMB each, that's £140. And I appreciate that might be too expensive for some, but if you have limited time to visit China, the ability to enjoy more and save some energy is well worth the cost. To enter the park, we used a specific queuing area for early entry pass holders. We arrived just after 7 AM and they started to let people through the gates at around 7:20 AM. It's not confirmed if all rides start operation at that time, but as it was a busy day, we checked on the Disney app and nearly all the rides started as soon as the first early entry pass guests entered the park. When we entered, the queue for normal entry at 8:30 AM had already started, and so I was very happy that we'd saved about an hour of standing for this price. On entering, the ticket is linked to your passport. They take a photo of your face, and after using your passport they give you a physical ticket. This can be used for entry to the park if you decide to leave to visit Disneytown later in the day. You need to put your bag through a scanner, and the park has strict rules about the use of selfie sticks and tripods. Even small sticks that extend to mini tripods are not allowed, so it's best to prepare a smaller stick for your camera or just hold it by hand. After all of the ticket check and the security check, when you finally enter the park, the first thing you'll see is the famous Disney clock and sign, as well as facilities to rent a pushchair for the day. We didn't need one, so we just went straight to a bag locker. We'd filled our backpack with spare camera batteries and a power bank for our phone. The bag locker machine was easy to navigate and had both English and Chinese. The park is divided into 8 key areas. The first stop when entering the park is Mickey Avenue, with storybook-inspired buildings. There are a number of smaller shops and restaurants. You'll also find many of the key characters that you can queue up to meet and get a photo with. Uniquely in Shanghai, you'll find Duffy and Friends. These characters have never appeared in Disney movies, but are unique to Asia. There is Duffy, the bear, Shelly May, a bear's friend, Gelatoni, an artistic cat, Stella Lo, a dancing rabbit, Cookie Ann, an inventive dog, Lena Bell, a clever fox, and my personal favourite, Olu Mel, a musical turtle. He was the least popular, with queue times of around only 30 minutes. Walking straight on from Mickey Avenue, you'll find the Gardens of Imagination. These are said to be Chinese-inspired gardens, but mostly feel Disney to me. You will find the Fantasia Carousel and Dumbo the Flying Elephant. The wait times were less than 20 minutes early in the morning, but quickly crept up to over 45 minutes in the afternoon. The priority access passes have a huge number of different combinations. For example, your pass may only include 3 rides, 11 rides, or all rides. Our 6-ride combo was the Carefree package and included Dumbo the Flying Elephant. When we entered, the queue time was less than 40 minutes for this ride, which I'd be happy to wait for, but the pass meant we could enjoy the ride and move on quickly. There's a specific area for Premier Access guests, and we needed to scan the QR code on the Disney app assigned to our tickets. The entry can only be used once, and the app instantly updated to show that we had used the benefit. Our pass meant we could move straight to the front of the queue and be part of the next group to board the ride. To the right of the gardens are Treasure Cove and Adventure Isle. Treasure Cove is Disney's first ever pirate-themed area and is mostly based on Pirates of the Caribbean. This area features one of my favourite rides, Battle for the Sunken Treasure. The ride involves sitting in a giant boat and travelling through caves, joining Captain Jack Sparrow to recover treasure. It uses projections and screens to bring the story to life, and it's great fun. This ride was also part of our Carefree Premier Access package. Adventure Isle includes 2 great rides, Roaring Rapids and Soaring Over the Horizon. Roaring Rapids is relatively calm, and the scariest part is a quick descent in the dark. You're definitely going to get wet, and you can purchase raincoats and ponchos in the queue for 10 RMB, but it is cash only. You can buy these same raincoats in the Chippendale shop opposite the ride before entering the queue. Whilst we're in this area, we decided to check out our only show for the day, The Adventures of Rhythm. The show was a musical celebration of different cultural and musical styles from around the world, and featured Mei Mei from Turning Red. The auditorium was huge, and as we were happy to sit further to the side of the stage, it was easy to get a seat. Moving back towards the centre of the park, behind the huge Disney castle is Fantasyland, with one of the most popular rides in the park, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is a small, family-friendly roller coaster and is a lot of fun. The wait times though were rarely less than 60 minutes on the day we visited, and it's not included in our pass. I think the reason this ride is so popular is there are lots of digitally immersive rides in the park, but fewer physical, more traditional roller coasters like this. Also in Fantasyland is Voyage to the Crystal Grotto. This ride takes you on a gentle boat ride under the castle itself, and the boat slowly drifts past key scenes of Disney classics such as The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. And behind Fantasyland is the newest addition to the park, Zootopia. There is only one ride in this area called Hot Pursuit. This area can get so busy that they even set up queues just to enter the area, though the day we visited this wasn't needed. The skyline of Zootopia is incredibly photogenic, and it's great fun to explore details, such as signs saying mammals crossing, or to enjoy a porpsicle. The Hot Pursuit ride is trackless. You ride in a large police vehicle. The story is that you're a new police recruit tasked with rescuing pop star Gazelle. The queue is part of the experience, featuring different elements of the police station. Moving into the final 2 areas of the park, there is Tomorrowland and Toy Story. Tomorrowland is a futuristic area, most notably featuring the Tron ride. This is a physical roller coaster with motorbike style seating. The ride moves at nearly 100 km an hour and makes a lot of sharp turns, making you feel like you're riding a motorcycle into the future. This is probably the scariest ride at Disney, and as a result is also popular, with queue times of around 60 minutes on the day we visited. Toy Story is the final area to explain, with most rides based on the Toy Story movies. The RC Racer is based on Andy's toy car moving up and down a U-shaped track. The idea of this is to make you feel like you've been shrunk to a toy size with huge figurines in the area. On our visit, we entered the park with a specific strategy. We'd paid for early entry and moved quickly to the rides we knew had the longest queues that were not included in our Premier Access Pass. This meant that we'd experienced Tron, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Zootopia Hot Pursuit all before 9 AM. Although this was tiring, it was great fun to experience the park at a quieter period. Once the park started to get busier, we slowed down and enjoyed each area using our 6-ride pass. We also left and re-entered the park during the day. Disneytown is directly outside the park and has a number of restaurants, including a Starbucks. We stopped for a coffee outside and it was easy enough to leave. To re-enter, we didn't need our ID again, only our physical paper tickets, because these were linked directly to our photos. Also in Disneytown is the biggest Disney shop. There are so many products inside, including many items which are specific to Shanghai Disney or Duffy and Friends. For food for the day, we did enjoy 2 restaurants in the park. We had lunch at Duffy and Friends Celebration Hall next to Adventure Isle. For dinner, we went to Mickey and Pal's Market Cafe and enjoyed some noodles and curry. Most areas have their own restaurants, and the food has fun, unique Disney elements paired with localized Shanghai or Chinese food. To end the day, we enjoyed a Disney character Halloween themed parade. There is a feature on the Disney app showing where parades and performances take place, which is very useful. Some people, very serious Disney goers, were queuing as early as 3 hours before the parade. We started to line up about 20 minutes before it started, and we were about 3 people away from the front. It was great fun and had a real unique vibe seeing Shanghai Disney in Halloween. However, we didn't stay until 8:30 PM for the famous fireworks display, something which is definitely worth staying for. However, we've seen it before, and by 7 PM, and having been in the park for 12 hours, we were more than ready to use a DD app and call a car home. We had no problem in finding a car at around 7 PM, and there's a specific area in the car and coach park for ride-hailing cars to stop. As I said, I am no theme park or Disney expert, but we had a great time and I would highly recommend visiting for anyone who has more than just 2 or 3 days in Shanghai. Do you have any more top tips for visiting Shanghai Disney? If so, please comment down below.